Hello guys, welcome to Goshen City. In this message, Reverend Sam Oye will reveal how couples can build stronger, healthier, and lovely marriages by patiently work on each other's strengths and weaknesses. He went further by talking about why patience is the foundation of a lasting relationship. He talks about how to handle your partner's weaknesses with wisdom and love. He also talked about ways to build each other up instead of tearing each other down. He talks about how abusive words can be avoided in a marriage. Thank you. Kindly like, subscribe, and share this video.
The powerful things that I enjoy a lot about watching power couples is a strong synergy between them. Synergy. They don't compete, they complete each other. They don't compete, they complete each other. My money is just for the purpose of administration. It is our money. Do you understand what I just said now? My money is just for issues of administration, because somebody must be held responsible by government for an account. Is that okay? That's when it's my money. My car, only for the purpose of changing what you call documents with the road safety, because if they will allow Mr. and Mrs., then you can put in Mr. and Mrs. Otherwise, that it is in my name doesn't mean it is mine. So there must be dynamic collaboration. So instead of competing, we engage in dynamic collaboration with each other, seamlessly blending our unique strength in order to create an harmonious symphony of success. It is what we do. It is what you do as a power couple. We minimize our weaknesses by blending our strength. We don't use our strength to fight each other. For instance, if you are good at administration and your wife is poor at organization, one of the things you don't do is, where's the woman that organizes for her husband? Where's the woman that does organize it? Fantastic. God bless you, ma. So what are the things you never say is, look, you are a scattered man. No. Are you aware, ma, that if you are not in that house, it will amaze you to know that he will take on a secondary organizational skills. The same man who leaves things behind. So in essence, it is a consciousness of your presence that makes me relax. It's a consciousness of your presence that just makes me to say, look, you know what? Because you are here, I don't bother about this. It doesn't mean I can take it on as a secondary skill. It is therefore dangerous for me to use my strength to insult my partner. I say you are disorganized. Use critical words. It's dangerous to do that. So my wife was the best at it in the early days of our marriage. So we'll come back, I throw my shoes down. My wife will say, come my friend, come back and pick your shoe. And then she'll tell me, go and put your suit in the hanger. And then I didn't know the hangers normally face the same direction. I didn't. I still don't know why, but of course I just still do it. Ma? Okay, when we face them in the same direction. Okay, wow. This is making sense to me now. So, because I'm still, I'm like, okay, so they all face, it looks like sometimes, are they reporting to somebody or like, do you get what I'm saying now? So, but my wife is that good. She is that good when it comes to arranging stuff like that. But that was not my strength. That was not my own strength. But she did not insult me. She did not use it to insult me. She found a way to just carry me along until today. Now it is now a learned behavior. It's a learned behavior to this. She doesn't need to be in the room for me to know that the hangers must face each other. Somehow it's like when I'm about to put the hangers, it's like she's around. It's a learned behavior. Praise God. But I didn't learn it through insult. I didn't learn it through she demeaning me. No. And it took years. It took years for me to become better at it. at that. No, and when it comes to packing before you travel, my wife likes to pack things, set her bags for a trip 6 months ahead. It's still confusing me. I still don't know why. She will suspend some clothes from walking until 6, because I'm traveling 6 months time, so let them all be inside the bag. So now I'm learning that now, but my own is not like 6 months, it's now 6 weeks, sometimes 6 days. Sometimes it happens 6 hours. I'm making, listen, you have to appreciate the progress I've made. God bless you. God bless you. God will honor you. You too will make progress. From nowhere to 6 hours, that's a lot of progress. I remember one of the days I just woke up and I'm traveling this morning. And I'm like, okay, yeah. Ta-da. Yeah, you good? So because it was a little bit dark, so I picked a black socks and a blue one. So when I got to the event, in the light, I was not going to, I'm like, this is all good together. Praise God. So it takes time. Please, can I ask you to do something? I will be patient. Write it down. I will be patient. I'll be patient. Now, one of the funny part of it, it was about 14 years into our marriage. Recently, 14 years into our marriage, was when Mama looked at me and said, hey, baby, that thing you've been telling me before, I understand it now. I said, God, that I should have divorced you long ago on that. Now, here we go. If I divorced her 14 years ago, it would have been a premature divorce because she's not a fast learner of that particular thing. It takes her time to appreciate the value of that thing. But she's gotten it. Patience. And that's why they say that marriage doesn't begin until 10 years into the marriage. So 10 years is when we start. Okay, so we start learning a lot. And so many marriages are thrown out of the window long before marriages are given opportunity to take on their own structure. It will amaze you to know that the older certain marriages get, the better they become. All right, so let's get going. Dynamic collaboration is important. There must be unified momentum. Rather than racing against each other, we must always learn to move in unison, igniting a powerful momentum fueled by shared dreams and aspiration. So what that simply tells us is that as couples, we must learn to run with each other as against running against each other. Run with each other. It's a very powerful thing that powerful couples do together. Team brilliance. They embrace the spirit of teamwork. We're going to be dealing with teamwork on a different day. I'm just going to deal with teamwork in marriage. But one of the things that power couples do is that they are very good at working as a team. Now, in working as a team, please look at this, everybody. In working as a team, just like the teams that you work in, you know very well that teams are not made up of similar people. Am I correct? Teams are made up of different people. In actual fact, a real team, a cross-functional team, a well-designed team, the whole idea is that the team must be different, must be composed of people who are uniquely different. Am I correct? The whole idea is that everybody brings in something that somebody else doesn't bring. Am I correct? That makes for the strength of the team. Similarly, in a marriage, we all have different competencies and uniqueness. And that's what makes us a great team. So I'm not going to sit down here and begin to look down on my wife because of what I'm good at that she's not good at. That's why I'm good at it. There's no need for duplication. There's no need to clone your partner, make your partner become you in order for you to have a marriage. You don't need that. Celebrate uniqueness. Celebrate diversity. So I'm idealistic. My intelligence, the way my mind works is very idealistic. That's why I'm a leader. I'm visionary. My wife is not idealistic. My wife is pragmatic. So my wife has what they call pragmatic intelligence. That's done by profiling. My wife has pragmatic intelligence. When you're talking to my wife about vision, dream, and all that, my wife is busy thinking about practical things she can do to get them done. And she's always practical, hands-on. My wife doesn't like too much of all these idealism, visions, and all. You talk about the vision, my wife is talking about how to get it done. How to do it is her focus. So by allowing her, and you know, for that kind of personality that is pragmatic, you understand that what that does for someone who is idealistic or someone who is a thinker, when I'm sharing my vision, usually for thinkers, we always want sympathetic response. What does that mean? So that's a great thing you share, sir. I will also look into it. That makes visionaries to be excited. That you think and somebody also say we think about it. That when you share a vision, sir, give me time. I also want to look into it. Sir, also I saw a vision from the vision you saw. Do you understand? So it makes, it just makes people, those who are visionary, to surround themselves with similar kind of people because they're sympathetic. Now, the kind of persons that most visionaries and phlegmatics don't like, they are usually people that are pragmatic. Because most pragmatic people are choleric. They are action-oriented doers, alpha kind of, if they are females. So the next thing you find is that I'm talking to her about this, and then the next day she wakes up, sorry, and that's what you talk about. I think we need to do. And no, I said, I was not talking about doing it. It would have been nice if you woke up this morning and said, sorry, I thought about what you said. That's sympathetic to me. I thought about it. It's a great vision. Then we keep it like that. And then next year again, we'll talk about the vision. But she says, no, that's not who she is. So it is a reason why 80 to 90% of the things that I've accomplished in this city is traceable to her. Traceable to her. Because the moment I talk about it, she makes me do it. Am I excited when I'm doing it? No. Am I happy when I see the document in our name? Yes. Do I reward her eventually for that? Absolutely. Is that the reason why maybe she continues to do that? Yes. She has become better now in the way she gets me to do things. Oh, she has become extremely better. But whether it was in a rough way or in a nice way, she has helped me to overcome the challenge of my bloodline. I'm telling you that. So the point we are making here is that we must function as a team. We must all bring, there's a reason why you married this woman. It's more than for children. And let me say this, in the worst of all of us, there is our best side. You want to write that down? In the worst of all of us, there is our best side. Your wife carries something your destiny needs. I don't care to know how successful you are. If you honor the uniqueness of your partner, you can become better than you are today. Barry, see, correct person put for God, put for your side. Your life is, see how your life is looking now. Do you have your picture of us? We shouldn't go. You don't have it. You've lost all of them. I wish we can all go back to what we look like before God blessed us with some of the women he blessed us with. I shouldn't go there. Have you heard this? If God wants to punish you, He allows you to marry the wrong woman. If God wants to bless you, he enables you to marry the right person. This is the point. No matter how blessed you are today, if it is in one marriage, please, I want you to know, if not for your spouse, you will not have become what you are. You only need a troublous partner for your life to be a mess. May you not see the trouble that make you forget your name at an interview. Theo says, what is your name? Say name. Sir, hello? What is your... See, the reason why you may not understand what I'm talking about is because you've never been in it. May you never see it. Men have gone into drugs. Women have gone into all kinds of stuff because of partner. I've seen high flyers reduced to nothing because of who they marry. I shared the story of a church, the first church I preached in America. That was the only church, sir, in that part of the world that ever hosted Daddy Papa Ayo or Jaffo. So you can imagine what I'm talking about. Way back before 2010, before I came to their church in 2010, they had hosted Papa Ayo. So it was a church commanding doctors in that part of the world. They are medical doctors. God bless them. This man was married to this. I've never seen such a woman. I still spoke with her yesterday or day before yesterday. When you land to invite me, she was the one that wrote the letter. I wasn't in the US for a spiritual assignment. I was in the US for a different assignment with the US government. And they got to hear I was around. They gave me a call. And they said, Reverend Sam, you must come to preach in our church. I said, no, I didn't come for church matters. And I said, coupled with the fact that the US government is hosting me, I said, they will not let me come and preach. The wife said, tell Reverend Sam I'm going to write the US government. In my mind, I laughed. I said, tell her to write them. Because in my mind, I didn't see that as a reality. I don't know what this woman wrote, sir. And I got a call from the people that were with us, and they said, sir, we want to let you know that we received a call from the US Department of State permitting you to leave California on a Friday, but you must be back to base Monday morning. I'm like, really? She said, yeah, she pulled it off. She was able to make it happen. And I said, okay, fantastic. Then the next thing, she sent me tickets, everything. I'm landing, they picked me up. On Sunday, I was going to church. It was a wife that was driving. In all my times in that city, I never saw the husband drive. We are coming from church, she's driving. We get to church, she administrates the church, whipping the church to order, operations, admin, and she was excellent at what she does. She takes the microphone to teach. You are like, my God. She moves in the prophetic, you are amazed. That was the woman God used to give us a prophetic word when we were to build this place that came all the way from the US, that God told her what we needed to do before we started the building here. And then all of a sudden, one day, this same woman used her sacrifice to bring the family members of the pastor to their city. And as soon as they came, they started pumping his head, because when they saw the way she was administrating things, my friend does nothing. The only thing my friend does is, she said, Pastor Sam, he only reads his Bible and he watches football. How they pay bills, nothing. He doesn't know anything about all of that. She takes care of everything. So when our Nigerian people came, be careful who you allow come to your house. Your freedom may be misinterpreted by them. If they are too used to bondage, your freedom will be an offense to them. That's how they started talking, and they say, our brother, your sister, your wife is the one controlling you. They started using those words. And gradually, sir, before you know, he bought into it. He said, oh, and then he called me and he said, Reverend Sam, He said, I just want to tell you something. I said, what is this, sir? He said, I've decided I'm divorcing my wife. I said, sir. I said, which wife? I said, the woman I told you to send for training on emotional intelligence and church organization. I said, that woman will take your ministry to another height. This is the kind of woman most pastors are looking for. A woman that is hands-on. No shame. She doesn't carry. Once she gets to work, no mama. I said, sir. He said, no. He said, Pastor Sam. He said, I'm the one that believe it. I said, for years, this woman would just say, she just want. I begged him. And I then said to him, I said, sir, all the people who are telling you to divorce your wife today, I said, sir, after you are divorced, all of them will turn their back on you. I begged him. It got to a moment, I started crying. And that day made me to remember Pastor Isaiah. That day made me to remember a man of God in this same city whose church was commanding unusual influence. Pastor Isaiah and I will watch this man of God, sir. He will tell directors, permanent secretaries, come to my house in the morning, 5 a.m. And then they will tell them, go to the stream, go and carry Jericho, fetch water. You will see directors right about that because it's prophetic. Influence, money. That was a church that I believe will have just gone very far. They celebrated their anniversary, and as soon as they finished celebrating their anniversary, all of a sudden, some people started pumping things into his mind about his wife. He bought into it. And he called me and said, Reverend Sam, I'm divorcing my wife. I begged him. I cried. I begged him. He would not listen to me. I called Pastor Isaiah. We went to area 11, area 8, Ibadan 1 street. We went to the hotel where he was. I knelt down. Pastor Isaiah knelt down. I said, sir, I beg you under God. I said, don't do it. Oh, he said, Reverend Sam. In fact, he said, Reverend Sam, a lot of bishops have spoken to me. Men of God have told me that truly she's the obstacle to my ministry. I said, sir, this woman that I know, obstacle to what, sir? He will not listen. I wept. That was the last time I saw him on that note. Just like I did to this other pastor. The moment I gave him that last call, I cried. I said, sir, don't do it. He chose to do it. He said they've told him that if he take her out of his life, that his ministry will grow. As soon as they had that divorce, few months later, he went to pick up a wife. That church is nowhere today to be found. A church that hosted Papa Yorisa Jaffo before 2010. The one we're talking about in Abuja that we went to, sir. A church commanding influence here. That church does not exist anymore in this city. Has the man lost his gift? That's what I want to open your eyes to. Has he lost his gift? Has he lost his ability to preach? It tells you that there are environments that makes you flourish. Have you noticed something about the environment where corn grows? It's never dramatic. It's just there. But it is the reason why the corn grows. Just there. Sometimes the reason why you don't cherish your wife or your husband is because they are just there. Not dramatic, nothing. No, they are just there. But they are the reasons why you are flourishing. Beware of thinking what is happening to me is coming from me. There are appointed persons that God says, okay, because you honor this person, I will cause you to flourish. Lot learned it the hard way. When Lot began to prosper, Lot thought it was coming from him. He didn't know it was prosperity by association. Prosperity by association. I usually don't like to look at it, but I want to ask them to send for me. Please, let me have some of the pictures from Light to Academy. I can watch them now. I need them now. Because, sir, As I look at most of us, Pastor Sunday, as I look at you, I look at myself. And we think about this woman that God put in our lives. So we know the difference. You don't know the difference? You want me to tell you? You remember Kado? Fish market? Before this woman entered your life. Fish market. Your own direction was, you were already heading towards Nasarawa. They say people should be heading towards London. Pastor Sunday was moving beyond even where there was address. But see what those women, no drama, no spectacularism, no, but our lives found an environment. Never trade environment for drama.